Hey y'all, Halfmilesniper here, and we're back in the garage today because, well, it's that time. 6.5 PRC has 870 rounds through it. It's been 130 rounds since we last cleaned and scoped the bore. So today, time to scope the bore, and we are going to be trying out the Iosso products. We're going to try the triple action cleaner and then the Iosso bore paste and see how that does on the copper and carbon fouling. I do have the Montana Extreme Copper Killer if this doesn't do the trick. Everybody seems to say it does, and we're going to find out today. So y'all sit back, kick your feet up, enjoy the ride. So right off the bat, we're going to jump in and take a look right down the bore. And since everybody wants to see it without the mirrors, oh, I need to put the bore guide in. Since everybody wants to see it without the mirrors, we're going to take that first look without the mirror. Okay, sorry for that little delay. I forgot to put the bore scope in. So let me get this recording. Okay, so I have to watch what I say because I was saying what I was going to do and the GoPro heard the command as a command. Okay, there's our chamber, there's our shoulder. Can't really see if that's any erosion there. Looks like we have a nice layer of crud and copper and a little bit of lead. And yes, I haven't been cleaning it between shooting lead and copper, but we can clearly see that we have 6 grooves, and there's our break. Okay, I'm going to back out. We're going to put the mirror on and get a better look at the throat and the rifling. Okay. Now we're coming in with the mirror to see how things look close up. There's our shoulder. Why are you going dark on me? Dirty, the throat doesn't look like it's eroded much. It looks like we do have just a little bit of copper or carbon there. But the throat doesn't look that bad in a dirty state. We'll see how it looks when we get clean, but we got copper all the way back here right by the throat. Looking at it with the mirror, it looks like we got copper laid in almost all the way. Okay. And we got some lead. Pretty sure the white stuff is lead. Nice. And then we should be heavy copper as we get towards the muzzle. Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to go to town with this Iosso product right off the bat. And then we're going to see how well the Iosso does. We're going to start with some of the triple action solution on a patch. We're going to soak it. We're going to let it set for a little bit. And then we're going to go for some of the Iosso bore cleaner off of there and using one of their Eliminator bore brush. It's a kind of a very stiff blue, I'm guessing nylon. They call it Ni-Flex. So it should be fairly tight into the bore. And that with this bore paste is supposed to work magic. So we're going to see. I'll bring you back after we get the first scrub through with the triple action and the first scrub through with the Eliminator. So I'm going to do several steps before I bring y'all back. So y'all sit tight, grab some accuracy juice, and it'll be just a few seconds for you, but it's probably going to be most of this cup for me. By the way, thank you again for the leather wrap tumbler, Izzy. Alrighty, y'all. So I just finished with the first cycle of using Iosso product. So I used the triple action solvent, 2 wet patches. I did the Eliminator bore brush with a little of the Iosso paste on there. I'm here to tell you that the Eliminator brush is the tightest brush I've ever run through a bore. Super tight. I had to double check the packaging to make sure I had a 6.5 bore brush and not a 30 cal. That's how tight it felt. So we're going to take a first look here and see how this looks after one application. And the last patch I came out, it's still coming out dirty, but it's down to just a little bit of black. So let's get things going and let's take a look. There's our chamber, the shoulder, a little bit of carbon, throat. Definitely showing more checkering, but it doesn't look to be growing or deepening. It's just checkering more now. We have some copper still in the bore here close to the muzzle, copper, and I can't tell if that's carbon or the nitride finish. There's some bare metal. Tell you what, I'm kind of impressed at how well this Iosso stuff's working. We're going to give this another scrub here in just a second. Wow. The muzzle, which is usually coppered up worse than everything else, is looking really good after one application. Okay. I now understand the hype on the Iosso product. Holy smokes. So literally 2 wet patches to soak the bore. Pardon me. 2 wet patches to soak the bore. Then I came in with the Eliminator Ni-Flex brush, which I thought I was using the Iosso paste sparingly, but I guess I got it too deep in there because it's still in bristles a little bit. Ran that through the bore probably about 10 times and then started running dry patches. We're going to do it again and see how it looks, and we may call it quits after that. If with the way this is cleaning, this is just amazingly shortened my cleaning time. Okay, I'll bring y'all back in a little bit. I'm going to do another application of Iosso product, and we'll see how the bore looks after that. Go get some more coffee. Bring you right back. Alrighty, y'all. Well, I just finished the second application of the Iosso products, and I got one still slightly dirty patch coming out. We're going to take a second look and decide if I want to do or need to do a third application. We'll find out here in just a second. So far, this is really, really, really cutting down my cleaning time. I need to bump up the light. Okay, shoulder, throat. Look at that. The flame cutting does not appear to have grown much at all here at the immediate throat. The cracking is increased, but not the cutting. How are we looking up here? Well, we got cracking and a little bit of copper. Looks like the edges of the rifling are starting to round off there. Let's come in a little bit deeper. We got checkering. Still have some flame checkering. Flame checkering seems to be dropping off a little bit. A little bit of copper left there. Maybe a little bit of carbon with the copper in the grooves. So far, I am really impressed with this Iosso cleaning product. And you know what I haven't seen? I haven't seen any of the rings. Tell you what, let me pull this back out, and we're going to take another look at it without the mirror and see if the rings are gone. If the rings are gone, that means we've actually worn the bore away, I would think. We still see copper. There's a remnant of a ring right there. And there's another one. Interesting that I'm not seeing them in the mirror. And looking at it this way, there's still quite a bit of copper in there. But that was definitely a whole lot less work than I've had to do to get to that point previously. Well, I think, based off what we just saw there, I will do a third application. We'll see how it looks. And if there's any copper left at that point, I will probably hit it with a little bit of the Montana Extreme just to get it cleared out. So I will bring y'all back after we finish the third application, and we'll see how it goes. That finished the third application of Iosso product. We're fixing to take the first look after the third application. And if everything looks good, the only thing I have left to do is one damp patch with the triple action according to the directions. And we'll see how the carbon ring looks, see if I need to address that. It wasn't looking very carboned up this time, but we'll take a look here in a second and we will see. Everything is running. Here we go. I need another dry patch there. Shoulder's a little wet. Not seeing much in the way of carbon. I might hit that a little bit. But there's the flame cutting. Again, it doesn't look like it's grown or gotten deeper, but it's definitely more checked. And this is just after 3 applications of Iosso. There's literally hardly any. There's a little bit of copper right there, but not much. Now, I want to find where the flame checkering stops, because I want to see how far down the barrel that is. That looks like the actual beginnings of flame checkering. So let's see how far. That's this far out here to the end of the scope, the start of the sunshade. That means that like that much of it's checkered. Okay. Not too bad. We'll keep an eye on that. Man, I am impressed with how well this Iosso has done. What little bit of copper there is in there, I'm going to leave for now. There we go. There's one of those lines. They're definitely not as pronounced as they used to be. And look at that, as we get out here towards the bore, the muzzle, there's very little copper. Wow. I gotta say thank you to whoever in my chat kept saying Iosso, Iosso, Iosso. I'd seen Eric Cortina use it. I'd seen F-Class John use it. Well, you saw how clean it just got this bore at 3 applications. I'm literally like a half hour into working on cleaning this bore. That took a lot of work out of the game. Wow. Pretty impressive. So, okay, I am going to hit the carbon ring real quick. Gonna clean the bolt. I'll bring y'all back in a minute. Okay, well, the last thing we're going to do is what the Iosso instructions say, and that's to run a damp patch with the triple action juice on it here. So we're just going to run one through. I think we're going to follow it with one dry one, just to not have a lot of liquid laying in there. And then next time we go to the range, we will definitely have to shoot some fouling shots to blow the crap out. And by that I mean the excess liquids. Okay. You know what? For posterity's sake, now that we did that, let's get one more look down the bore here so we can see how the carbon ring turned out. Yeah, just a little black in there, but now this is the only thing we did was we worked on the carbon ring and then gave it a light coat of the triple action solution. My stars, look how clean that bore is. Yes, sir. The Iosso products are definitely worth their weight in gold. Metals, that is. Okay. Bore guide out. And let me clean up the bolt real fast. At 870 rounds, the bolt is starting to show just a little bit of wear. The nitride is worn through right here by the rear lugs. Everything is looking good. Very nice. Give it a drop of oil. We'll put it together and we'll close this out. Well, I don't recommend a lot of stuff, but I tell you what, you get the Iosso triple action solution and the Iosso bore cleaner and couple that with one of their Eliminator Flex Tight or Flex Knife Flex bore brushes. A lot less time spent cleaning. Less time cleaning means more time shooting. Man, we got 870 rounds on this rifle now. Means the next time that we look at it will be right about 1,000. And the last time we shot this rifle with the, what did we shoot last? Oh, we shot the hammer. Shot this one right here, N560, 51.1 grains, solid copper, gave us a .441 group. A-tips didn't work too well. Well, 54.5 shot a 4.29 inch group. And back here, 54.5 Retumbo with the cold bore gave us an 869, and without the cold bore gave us a .393. So the rifle is still shooting. It doesn't seem to have lost any accuracy yet. And soon we'll be going to New Mexico, to my favorite range there in Raton at the Whittington Center. And if I can get some ammo put together, I just so happen to know where there's a 1800 and, what did we measure it at last year? Was it 1,806 or 1,816 yards? That's a little over a mile. We might try that. Yes, sir, we might. That'd be my longest shot to date. But get a shot of accuracy juice, put the rifle away. It's nice and clean, ready to go. It's shooting well. I have some more work to do with the hammer bullets. I've got the next setup with N560, as I'm learning GRT a little bit more. I wanted to do a second run to verify GRT's projected velocities with my actual velocities. First batch came out pretty close. Second batch I expect will come out close as well. And then we'll be able to jump and see about getting those 134 grain hammers up to about 3,000 feet per second. And if not, we know, hear it, what was that? I forget what the speed was on that, but at 0.441, I could use that for hunting. I want to say it was maybe 2,800-ish. But you know what? I can look back and I'll put it up here somewhere. So yes, I think I've already said it once, but I'm going to say it again. The Iosso products, they work very well. My recommendation is, if you're shooting and shooting a lot, spend the extra money, get the Iosso stuff, and cut your workload in half when it comes to cleaning your rifles. Good stuff, really good stuff. I was surprised. I thought it was all hype. Nope. You saw it here. 3 applications and it cleaned up pretty good. I never even went to my Montana Extreme Copper Killer. If anybody walked out here into the garage right now, they'd have no idea I'd just cleaned the gun, because you don't smell any hoppies, you don't smell any Montana Extreme. The only thing I smell right now is whatever kind of elf squeezings they make to use for Militech. I'm sure they're squeezing elves to make that. So, thanks for hanging with me. I really do appreciate it. We do have to break out the 6 Creedmoor because it's at 100 and some odd rounds as well. But that'll be for another video. Halfmilesniper reminding y'all, stay strapped or get clapped. Carry everywhere you can. Get a CCW if you need one. If you're in a constitutional carry state, get a CCW anyways. You may travel. Not everyone recognizes constitutional carry. And as always, again, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, click the little button down there. Subscriptions are free. I am trying to get to 10,000 now because I never thought I'd ever make it to 100. And now we're north of 5,000, north of 5,400, on our way to 5,500. So thanks. I appreciate that. Y'all make it all worth it for me. So with that, Halfmilesniper reminding y'all, stay safe, keep shooting. We'll catch you next time. Send it. Hit.